Hi, Ginny.
Hi.
Can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Okay, well, with that, then I will call the June meeting of, think of that for a second, the June meeting of the Culver Redevelopment Commission order. Would you please join me in muting your cell phones and also know that this meeting is being recorded. Your participation in this meeting constitutes your consent to be part of our YouTube rebroadcast of the meeting. And now if you'll join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Okay. So we need to do roll call. Yep, thank you.
Sure. Jerry Seiler,
Present.
Sarah Jones, Sally Ricciardi,
Here.
Marty Oosterbaan,
Here.
and I am online present.
Wonderful. Thank you. We've got a quorum. We're good to go. I would like to propose an amendment to the agenda to start. I'd like to discuss and possibly approve the Baker Tilly renewal agreement. I provided you with a summary of that in advance of the meeting. So perhaps we can discuss that under the new business section tonight. Again, at least initiate the discussion, if not complete it this evening. Do we need a motion on that to change the agenda? Oh, you did? I'm looking. Well, then it's on. Wonderful. We don't need a motion. Is it under new business?
Yes.
Asking you shall receive.
Symmetrical.
Should have.
Go, let me know.
Okay. Yeah, I should have taken it, right? Yeah, that's what I get. Approval of minutes from the May 21st meeting. Ginny, I think we're going to table that till next month.
Yeah, I asked Marty earlier if we could table it since I wasn't at it. I've started listening to the recording today. Actually started yesterday, but I've not yet to get through the entire recording because I've been busy. So I asked if we could just table it.
All right. Well, in that case, we'll move on to the financial report, the main financial report. We have $4,754.67 in interest, $2,500 in expenses. That relates to the plein air event that we approved last month. Our year-to-date spending is at $68,935. That's 3% of our overall spending plan. Although we do have about $150,000 committed that is unspent at this point. Our ending balance for the month was $1,546,526.39. Are there any questions for Karen or myself regarding the main financial report? Hearing none, I will I'll solicit a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the May financial report.
And is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Ms. Ricciardi and seconded by Ms. Jones. And
Jerry Seiler,
Aye.
Sarah Jones, Sally Ricciardi,
Aye.
Marty Oosterbaan,
aye.
and I'm an aye.
Okay, thank you. That's unanimous. Let's go to approval of claims. For this month, we have $23,675.50 all told. 10,000 of that is for the Culver Youth League. I believe that's half of the amount that we had approved. That was quite a few months back, I think, at this point. There's $12,875 for the facade grant at 108 North Main. And then we had $800 for the Lakes Magazine advertising and $47 for a banner on the summer reading program, which is a cool banner, by the way. Down by the lake. Are we sharing the cost of that with the library? Do you happen to know? Yeah,
Just don't know.
yeah. Because I was complimenting the library director on the banner and he fully accepted the. I'm thinking, oh, they didn't even pay for it? What? You know, but $47 seems
That's a pretty
for
cheap banner, yeah.
right? It probably split the cost on that. So at any rate, are there any questions or discussion around the claims?
The facade grant for 108 North Main, so they mentioned that they're gonna be coming back with more for the door, but they can do that at separate times, right?
Correct.
We approved
yeah.
of that.
One of the doors hasn't arrived yet, so, and also on the roof estimate, it included insulation, and once they got into it, they didn't need insulation. So that's why it's lower than what we approved. Just split what they sent. 50%. That's okay with everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody seems to be nodding.
Yep.
Any other questions, discussion? If not, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the
All right, the chair will second rather than wait, and well,
Jerry and I look at each other.
we'll go to the roll. Call vote.
Jerry Seiler.
Aye.
Sarah Jones. Sally Ricciardi.
Aye.
Marty Oosterbaan.
Aye. Okay, so we got claims approved. Thank you, Karen, for your work on that. Much appreciated. Into old business, the Main Street renovation project. We've got some data, a new database that is being implemented, and some additional data sources being sourced for our part-time resident data that we're trying to add to the resident data that we already have from retail strategies. Right. I think they said that would be forthcoming relatively quickly. We got it. I think the next benchmark is July.
It is.
I'm so
Looking forward to that. I think part-time resident, 200-mile radius, kind of outer visitor tourists. That sort of market, I think, which overlaps quite a bit, right?
Yep. Okay. Indeed. So, so not much of an update, other than we're waiting for the data to get cranked for the second parts we put together with the first part. Then the action plan would follow that. The master plan would follow that. Yeah. Just still looking at a July, August timeframe so far as we know. Okay, Lakefest discussion. Justin is back with us this month. And maybe I'll tee it up. Just kind of, we saw you last month. The way I remember it is the budget was 60,000 something. Plus you would put together your new team. You would put together new certification for the crew and everything, volunteers. And the organization, I should say. And we sent you away saying, figure out how much you need from us. Now, we gave the advertising traditionally for this. And then last year we gave, I think, 10,000 for it. And I think that the advertising was around 10,000 as well. So maybe a 20,000 to the event. I think when we did it last year, we said, because it was kind of an emergency, they're like, we want to put on the event, but we're 10 grand short. And we figured out a way to do it. And we kind of said, you'll figure this out in the course of next year. Well, Justin's gotten a ton done and his team's gotten a ton done, but they haven't quite got that part figured out. So I think he's coming to ask us for that again, and maybe more, I don't know, but that's kind of where my knowledge of the story ends, and I turn to you to bring us up to date from there.
Yeah. So the primary thing that we ask CRC for is the traditional marketing budget. So to cover the cost of our advertising, That is mainly our brochures that we hand out that have the festival schedule and our advertisement sponsorships in them, as well as some profiles and other festival things. Signs for events, directional signs to get people to and from events, and banners for our to recognize our sponsors. So that is the traditional CRC support there. That usually comes to around $10,000. And then, as you said, last year, we were able to get that additional support for fireworks as well. We have tweaked our budget a little bit. We were able to get down to around 52,000. This year, we have cut out a few things that we had said, an extra bit here, an extra bit there, just overestimating our budget so that we were okay. We went back through, fine-tune those a little bit, cut out a couple things that we weren't necessarily, we didn't think were necessities. So our budget came down to $52,825. So far to date, we've raised $11,501 in sponsorships and donations. Our primary budget for that we budgeted this year was around 30,000. So we are, obviously $20,000 short with a month to go. Festival's literally 30 days from today or 29 days from today. Money's still coming in, so we're still receiving checks in the mail every day from our solicitation letter that we sent out, and we have a couple people in the community working on asking some of those major sponsors to give their normal contribution. We just haven't been able to confirm those contributions as of today. So what Lakefest is really and truly asking for is we would like to request the 10,000 for our marketing budget. And then I am the most terrible person at coming and asking people for money. So that responsibility falls on me as leader of the organization. Anything over that we would be appreciative of. I know last year's contribution of 20,000 total did a lot for us, was able to make the festival happen. So if CRC would be willing and able to do that, we would be very grateful for that. Our main concern right now is the marketing budget for the festival, though. And I can answer any questions you have. I printed our budget. I have it in front of me.
For some reason, I thought we had already approved the marketing budget. 10,000.
It was in our spending plan.
Yeah.
So this is now would be an appropriation out of the spending plan, I think.
Yeah.
What we need to do.
Justin, do you foresee in the future finding ways to where there's not this deficit every year, or other ideas forthcoming for that?
I think that would be a restructuring of how we run the festival. So traditionally, the way we've done things is charging vendors for their certain amount of, fee and so on and so forth. I think maybe a different payment structure to generate more income from the people who are making money at Lakefest would be the way that we could navigate that. I don't know if they would be particularly happy about that, but the thing is, this continues to get more expensive every year because we have to farm everything out. So our tents, our stages, porta potties, trash service, all of those necessities eat up a huge chunk of our budget. And then on top of that, we end up with a $25,000 fireworks bill. Truthfully, I think if fireworks weren't included as part of the festival, we would squeeze by, but we could make it by the fundraising that we're doing. Once we add that in, which has been, as you guys know, a traditional part of the festival, and seems to be more expensive every year. Now we get in hot water would be the right word to say. I know personally, with discussing with the committee, I've brought it up many times to what if we got rid of this part of the festival? We think that would drastically impact the amount of people we get during that Saturday night. if you're there during that time, people start bringing lawn chairs at about 5 o'clock for 10 o'clock fireworks. And so I think that it would definitely affect our vendors and the total number of people we have in town. I think that's something that we as a group really need to put our eyes on and say, are there other alternatives that we could have to continue to get those people, just not have that fireworks display over the lake. So
I will say, I talked to a number of people and mentioned about you saying at the last meeting, the potential of the drone show, and almost everyone's like, that would have been really cool. That bring in to see that stuff, so something for the future, if you could sway any of those voters on your, I think that would be a big draw, and figuring out the logistics of how to do it.
yeah.
Something different like that might bring in some more people from different areas.
And if there's anybody out there that knows multiple drone show companies, please give them our contact information, my contact information. I did look the last time we talked, we were here, and I went back and looked at the proposed contract for our drone show last year. For some reason, and this is obviously on the vendor's side, but they gave us a $2,000 discount if we did a drone show and a fireworks show. So a $40,000 show. I believe they said it was $22,000 without a fireworks show. So it was the same price to do fireworks or drone. That's from that particular vendor. At that point, we had to finalize the decision to have have the fireworks show. We knew we had the logistics for that. So we made that decision last year. Going back this year, we were in a similar situation. And so we went ahead and pulled the trigger on fireworks again. It would be great if we could get a $10,000 drone show or even a $10,000 fireworks show. I will say that 15 minutes of fireworks for $20,000 seems excessive, but the going rate among fireworks vendors is right there, if not more. So, but that's all I had. If you guys don't have any
I
more
think
questions.
the amount that the expenses you incur for things like electrical and stuff like that in the park wouldn't be there in the future with the park design that we've got, in the back of our minds to realize someday. And that helps me justify additional support for you, because I'm asking you to put on a festival on the facility that's not quite, geared to do it yet.
Yeah, that is a big, we spend a lot of time and money, more than we should, figuring out the logistics of how to get the park the right way. And a lot of times we move things around and do things, but at the end of the day, the bones are still the same, right? Lighting, sound, electricity, and stages, tents, those things that are needed. And I've brought up the idea of, well, do we really need 2 tents? Do we really? And then it pours, and you have 65 people underneath a 25-person tent, and you're going, yeah, it's probably a good idea. We kept that.
Yep. Ginny, you got anything?
Sorry, I was on mute because I was coughing. I don't really have questions. I was thinking if at some point we had storage somewhere, maybe we could purchase some of those things in the future, like tents or, reusable things. But we lack storage in the town as it is. I know our park department would love to have more storage, and we're kind of looking at that. And it's just one of the many things on the list that we might try to accomplish. So, I know with Boys and Girls Club, when we were doing the auction events, Justin, we're in similar situations where you have to rent some things, and eventually we would buy certain things. We did our own software and check-in and check-out system because it was 20% to hire a company, and we wanted to keep those dollars with the club. So I totally understand the position you guys are in. I do think some businesses probably benefit, especially the ones across from the park. You always see a lot of lines there during Lakefest. People still get their coffee and their lunch at Lake House or dinner or drinks or whatever. Um, I don't know that it trickles down to Main Street as much, but and I know people have fun and a lot of people come out for those fireworks for sure. So kind of get the dilemma in general.
Well, no question it benefits the business community. That's how, and we concluded how we justify the additional time. I would be comfortable matching our contribution from last year,
Yes.
primarily because of all the work that you've done to position yourself to, and I have confidence in the next year, you're gonna have a different story for us next year.
Yes, let's hope. This is the most stressful time of Lakefest because everything that we've worked to do over the last 11 months is some stuff starts to come unwound. And it's like people and commitments and, hey, I can't do this. And so right now is the most stressful time that you always question whether or not, do I want to keep doing this? So, but we would be very grateful for CRC's contribution to match last year's.
I think what would be cool too, Marty, Kevin's worked on quite a long list of the Lakeshore Drive corridor projects, some of the things we're hoping to achieve with it, including, like you said, electric in the park, potentially bathrooms and other things. That when we go to do that project, Justin, we would love to have stakeholder input from your committee or you, because I know we'll do some public engagement on that project, and to hear from some of the people who do their events in the park will be a benefit to that project. So maybe that's something you all could do for us when we get to that stage.
We currently have one of our at-large members is Steve Ulry of Live Oak Electric, who does all of our electric in the park now. And I'm not joking when I say every meeting he brings up how's the park electrical situation developing. So he would be the perfect representative to put input because he, for the last, I know it's over 20 years, has been the person that is set up and knows the electrical needs and has done a great job for us. And so, absolutely.
He's also provided estimate for not only redoing the electric, but also restoring the beautiful lights.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Yeah,
Well,
he's
we
been
should,
a good communicator with us, right?
we should know July 1st on the Ready Grant.
yes,
Which
they
we
moved that
would
up.
use to do that study and in the public engagement. So it may not be far off, that we're approaching that.
That would be great. I know Dana Neer was at our meeting and spoke about the Ready Grant when that subject came up about the electricity. So great.
Any